Welcome back to Scarbodge Not Built. So in this episode we're going to continue with the Brat. So in the previous episode I said we got the body painted and everything, but we're going to continue and put a few Scarbodge Not Built modifications on it, including custom printed intercooler. Also got some mesh, so I've just gone over that with some black Sharpie. And that should fit behind the front splitter. Also designed a diffuser for it to fit the exhaust as well. And of course we're going to get a set of my calipers on there. Also going to be cutting out the vinyl for the livery. So let's get started. So to get the intercooler and the mesh fitted, I'm going to have to remove the front grille and bumper off the body itself. So to fit the mesh, I'm actually going to use some freehand double-sided tape. Place a few pieces along here. And that should allow me to fit the mesh on there, and it should stay in place. Alright, so that's a mesh in place. Now let's get the intercooler behind that. So there's the intercooler bolted on. Picks up off the same bolts that go through to fix the splitter to the bumper. Intercooler's fixed to that bracket. These are separate, they slot in. As I say, they bolt in, same place on there. And that's how it looks from the front. Quite happy with that, so let's get that back on the rest of the body. So that's a front bumper all fitted back to the body. Also notice I forgot to paint the trim around the windscreen, so I've just gone around that with a black permanent marker. We're not going to call it lazy, we're going to call it efficient. Alright, now let's get on to the diffuser. So now for the diffuser. So this is one of the exhausts that I'd designed and printed for the lunchbox. I'd fitted one on the Poppy Playtime lunchbox, if you haven't seen that. That video's on the channel. So I've designed the diffuser around that. So the exhaust slots in there. It is slotted, so you can adjust how far out you want the exhaust to sit. The bracket then fits on the top. 2 bolts to secure that. And then you've also got 2 bolt holes there, which then bolt through the metal bracket into the back of the tailgate. The diffuser then bolts onto the tailgate like this. So 2 bolts in there. And that's the tailgate and the diffuser all together. So we just need to fit it to the body. Which is 2 bolts through the top. Just about see the holes. It's a little fiddly, but you can then slide the nuts under and do them up. There's the diffuser and the exhaust all bolted up, tailgate back on. So I ran into a slight issue when putting the body back on. Due to how far back the intercooler now sits, it was fouling on the original bumper. So I designed and printed up an end plate for the chassis. So that's a lot narrower now. So the body should fit on without an issue. And there we have the body fitted. You can see the intercooler there behind the bumper. And the grille as well. And then on the rear. That's how the diffuser looks from the side. And then the rear. One last step for this. So I'll put a number plate on it. Now for the next step, we're going to add some more Moscato details. So we're going to go with a set of calipers, and of course we're going with Brembo Red. Let's get them on. That's the caliper kit installed. Oops, and the plate fell off. As you can see, the caliper's static. And the disc rotates with the wheel. I think I might reprint the number plate and make it a little smaller. But other than that, that's the exterior pretty much done. There's one last thing I'm undecided of, and that's a livery. I was going to put a livery on it, but I kind of like it like this. I might do it anyway, see how it looks. Worst case, I can always peel it back off. So on to the livery. As I said, I was undecided whether to put it on, so I ended up doing a bit of a Photoshop, which I'll put a screenshot up of. And then I fired up the vinyl cutter. Come with some nice neon yellow. Here we have some of the vinyl cut out. As you can see, we're going with the 555, but we're going similar to the Legacy, as it's an older car. So I figured an older livery would fit it best. So now we're going to get that on and see how it looks. And now we've got the livery fitted. Now the initial number plate that I did, I felt was too big. So I scaled it down, made another one, much more suitable. There was one thing left for this. I was playing about with the idea of a spoiler. Figured maybe a swan neck. Mounted in the bed. It'll get across a bit easier to see. So I'm going to throw that on, see how I like it. So there's the spoiler mounted. Literally just gone with a couple of holes in the bed. Also replaced some of the screws that were holding the windscreen into the body because they were a bit too long. So now they're the correct length. The only other thing left to do for the body is add some panel lines. I'm going to have to slip the vinyl here. I started to do it on the bonnet. Along there. And across the windscreen as well. Well, across the skull panel and bonnet. So let's get that finished. Then that should be the body done. So that's the panel lines on. It's only a small thing, but I think it makes a difference. See it just in there. Doesn't really show up too well because of it being quite a dark body. But with that, I'm going to call the body done. Next, we're going to tackle a few issues that I found with the chassis before I rebuild it and give it a run. One of them being the front wheels are rubbing slightly on the top of the arches here, so I might have to make some custom top arms just to give it a little bit of camber, and then it should clear. Also, I want to try and get a bit more suspension in it because it is there, but it's a bit rigid. So let's see what we can do with that. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. The next video on the Brat is going to be on the chassis, where we're going to do some modifications for that, rebuild it, give it a test run, see what breaks. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.